into Sports Sunday right here on 1080 The Fan, the Odyssey app, YouTube, Twitch. We're global. We're global out here. We're all over the internet. Jordan Schultz across the glass for me. No Rashad Taylor today. We'll get to that in a second. But Jordan, how are we doing this Sunday?
You know what? I am good. Probably a little too much liquor. My feet are sore from standing all night Friday at the Mariners game. But you can watch me look like I'm sore from Antarctica right now. So there you go. We are global, like you said.
Yeah, I don't know what came over me yesterday, but around 6:30, 7 o'clock, I hit a wall, and it was like I could not wait to go to bed at that point, and got back to the girlfriend's place, and it was one of those moments, like as soon as I laid on her couch,
It's done.
ow, I woke up like 2.5, 3 hours later. Where am I? What's going on? She was nowhere to be found. She was already upstairs in her bedroom. Like, she was like, "Oh yeah, I just let you be. I gave up.
You're out.
Yeah, you're done."
She cannot carry you. That's for sure.
No, that is definitely not gonna happen. But yeah, yesterday was it was a long day. Maybe that's what it was. It was just a long day for me. Too much booze, perhaps. It started in the I guess you could say morning, 11 o'clock. Because that was the only time I could meet up with my friend over in Newburgh. He was in town from Eugene and had a couple beers at a place there. And then later in the day, and this is the reason why he is not here, it was Rashad Taylor's wedding yesterday.
Dude, that was so much fun. Congrats to Rashad. We love you. We love Mia. Like, that was what a ceremony that we were just what a privilege that we were given the invite to be a part of. That was so nice.
Yeah, definitely caught me off guard, the venue, because like normally at weddings, it's, even if it's outside or inside, it's just chairs, right? Like it's rows of chairs.
Yeah.
But this was at the Portland Playhouse.
Yeah.
So where like they have plays. So it was very much like auditorium seating.
Yes.
So when you walked in, it was like the rows of seats were like staggered. So you were like in a theater, and it was like people like
risers of seats.
Yes. Yeah. And that threw me off like right away.
Totally.
And that bitch was packed.
Oh my goodness.
I think you said you showed up like 2 minutes before me.
Yes, sir. I was so happy. I'm like, all right, Joe and I are showing up right around the same time. This is good. Not too early, not too late. I was very happy about that fact.
Yeah, and it definitely caught me off guard because I was like, all right, let's walk in. And oh boy, there's a lot of people here, and I don't see many empty seats anywhere. We found one empty seat, and then right next to it was this little gap between the seat and like the, I guess like the edge balcony.
Like a pillar?
Yeah, I guess. Something that was basically like the end of the risers and the bleachers.
But there was space enough for you to fit.
Oh, I barely squeezed right in there and was able to sit down next to the girl because it was slim pickings out there for seating. Like you and the girl were separated at one point. You were down by like the family.
I see that. Okay. When you're at a wedding and you're kind of just trying to go with the flow because you are a guest there and not trying to, make any waves whatsoever. Just show up, sit down, watch the ceremony. That is what I was trying to do, but little did I know, Joe, at the top of that little stairwell down, and the Portland Playhouse is such a fun venue. I think it's like Prescott and MLK, and there's been so many great events there over the years.
I have never been there before.
It's a pretty sweet venue.
Venue to me.
Well, and the fanciness of the venue, let me tell you. I mean, this was like hand towels were actual towels in the bathroom.
You ran into you told me that in the bathroom there was not paper towels.
No.
There was cloth towels to use after you wash your hands.
No, this was a highfalutin event.
Not for when you use the bathroom, just for when you washed your hands.
I mean, I think they had actual toilet paper for you. That would be disgusting. It's like we got to have that conversation with like people that use like cloth diapers or something. That's a whole nother day. But no, what a venue. And
do they know it's 2024 and that you don't have to use cloth diapers anymore?
If you do, get your own damn washing machine specifically for the cloth diapers. But anyways, what a beautiful venue. But me being stuck basically at the top of that riser of seats, essentially, I kind of got pushed down to that side with the family because that's, little did I know, where the bride was walking down. So that's the last place that you want to be, of course. So yeah, had to get separated, but being next to the family and trying to go with the flow, that is a little odd. My wife was like, Like, should we be here? And I'm like,
Are
babe,
we allowed to sit here?
I'm just going where I'm told.
But yeah, it was great seeing Rashad get married. And his wife looked beautiful up there.
Yes.
She looked beautiful as well. It was a great day overall.
Well, at the Playhouse, you get married on stage. That's kind of the thing you're failing to mention here is the risers leading up to a stage where the groom himself, Rashad Taylor, came out to a bevy of applause to start the ceremony before his beautiful wife walked down the aisle. That was tops, bro.
Solid little spread, from my DJing days of weddings back in the day. It was a solid spread. I'll take it, and it was basically one of those, fend for yourselves. Like, we are not going to give you, like, you figure it out what you want. Like, here's everything. Take it or leave it.
It's good. We don't have to wait. We can just go and get it.
Listen, I had to stop myself from keep going back to those chicken wings because those were dangerous. Those were some damn good chicken wings.
They had, I believe it was Jamaican jerk or like blackened chicken wings plus some buffalo wings. And they had jalapeno poppers.
I was looking for some type of Tupperware that I could, take home like a bevy of chicken wings home with me. Be like, listen, they're just sitting here. I don't think you guys are running out. Let me just snag a few of these and take them home with me, please.
Well, and all the desserts and they had fruit for people that were trying to stay healthy. My wife said hands down this was the best spread that we'd ever seen at a wedding.
There was a lot.
Yeah, I was like, babe, I have to agree with you. They
blueberry goat cheese.
The blueberry goat cheese once again making me happy. I'm not sitting in the same studio with you this morning, sir.
Oh yeah, no, I've already lit this place up. The carbon monoxide sensor, I'm sure will be going off within these 2 hours.
Oh, God.
But I hope everybody out there is having a great Sunday. Hope you had a great Saturday. I hope you're enjoying the overall weekend itself. Rashad, too. Dude, we told him, we were like, hey, I was more so on the line of dude, you don't have to come in on Sunday. It's the day after your wedding. I totally get it. And he was still just very much like, oh, no, I might pop in,
For a segment.
That maybe I come and do 2 segments. I'm like, 2 segments? What are you talking about? I was like, remember last year when I said when I was going to Bend and I was going to call in via Zoom and do the show live from Bend? Here I am. And how that did not happen at all.
Hey, Joe Fisher, hungover as hell here from Bend.
Yeah, I think I got up finally out of bed at 11 a.m. after the show was over. So Rashad, I went and said bye to him around, towards the end of the wedding, and he was out hanging out with some friends. And I was like, hey, man, have a good rest of your night. Enjoy your day tomorrow with the wife. And I was like, seriously, don't come in. And he's just like, oh, no. He's like, what if I'm just bored? What if I'm at home and it's morning time and I'm just bored? I'm like, I really don't care. This is the one Sunday. You really don't have to come in, dude. Are you kidding me? I was like, hey, basically, happy wife, happy life. That is now what you have to live by. So if she's fine with it, if she's fine with you leaving the morning after your wedding day, which just the sound of that does not sound right. If I was a wife,
I'm going to bring her on the press tour the next day. Hey, babe, let's go on the radio.
Bring her in studio. I think he mentioned something like that. What if she comes into the studio? I was like,
if she's down.
I was like, if she wants. I was like, does she have some hot Caitlin Clark takes? Is that what we want to do today? This is actually on the Vancouver Ford text line. For the love of God, rescue me from another hour of Caitlin Clark talk. Well, I'm looking at my list here today. Segment 1, Caitlin Clark talk. Segment 2,
Angel Reese and Caitlin
Clark talk. Segment 3. Okay, I'm going to just cross those out here for that listener. So, there will be no Caitlin Clark talk today. There will be no WNBA because there's plenty of other stuff to get to. But man, I swear that algorithm on Twitter right now, the other day, I opened up that For You section. I think there was 4 to 5 straight tweets, videos, and clips of I forget her name, but the other chick bumping her, giving her a hip throw and knocking her to the ground. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't know what I did, what I looked at, what I searched on Twitter to think it wants me to have 4 straight clips / tweets about this. I was like, 1 is fine. All right. I'll see 1. I'm good. But my God, Elon, Get to the AI, the algorithm, the placement of these tweets, because I do not need to see 4 straight. Okay.
Get back in the server room, dude. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Start unplugging some cords, plugging in some phone lines like you're an old school operator, something, for the love of God.
Speaking of that, I have to say, for the first time, my wife happened to yesterday see a Cybertruck in person. You bring Elon up, so it's the perfect transition.
I've seen a couple of them over the last week. I want to say I've seen 3 in the last week.
Yeah, we ended up seeing 2 in the same day
And
yesterday.
they are as ugly in person as you would think.
They are ungodly awful looking, and you just wonder. I mean,
Hey, do you, boo-boo?
No,
you got
exactly.
that much money, you want to spend it on that piece of hunk of crap? Like,
do you really want to hang out with that guy though? Because
No.
you really $80,000 that you have to spend. Because it used to what was it proposed to be 40? That's what we kind of used to hear. Like initially when they were starting to make them, that would be kind of the price.
I did not
point.
keep up on the price point, but if that was the case, if
It
they were
was.
telling people it was going to be 40 grand up front, you know that's a bald-faced lie.
Oh yeah, that Elon was trying to sell low, obviously, but now it's literally people with gaudy amounts of money that want to look like asses are buying that car. So it's just beyond the car itself. Anybody that's buying it, I mean, I guess if you're listening in a Tesla Cybertruck right now, text in, let us know why you want to buy that hunk of crap here on the Vancouver Ford text line. But yeah, it's just like that's not a guy or gal I'd want to have a beer with. I'm sorry, but maybe they don't want to have a beer with me either. So we're all set.
There was something I read about that, and we'll get to going here in just a sec. But because it is made with stainless steel,
Yes,
and it does not have a coating, like a clear coating on the outside, that apparently, if you have it in an environment where it rains a lot, you will see rust and corrosion on the outside of the car over time.
So here
Yeah.
in Seattle, anywhere in the PNW.
So those 3 that I saw over the last week, best of luck. Yeah. Let's see. Business Insider pointing to a thread on Cybertruck Owners Club forums. Wow, that place must be insufferable. Claim that corrosion is forming on the exterior of various Cybertruck owners' vehicles after exposure to rain.
Hey, Joe, it's not corrosion. It's a fancy orange-colored hue that
Yeah.
develops over time to give it a nice patina.
This is a custom paint job I put on here.
Nobody else can get this. See those markings? Those are unique to you, you jerks.
They also say that rail dust, tiny iron particles, can be kicked up by train wheels running on their tracks or by other sources of metal abrasion. They settle on surfaces and can themselves rust in certain conditions. So,
And this is after the initial announcement where that like big metal ball was supposed to be, thrown in an indestructible truck and broke both windows. So it just come on, what are we doing here?
So the Sports Sunday poll question, it is not brought to you by this Cybertruck. It is actually brought to you by Zima. Which Kansas City Chiefs player would you want to see get tased by Secret Service? Because they just had their visit to the White House. Go ahead and vote on that at 1080 The Fan on Twitter/X. Right now, though, there is a far and away leader in the clubhouse. Your 4 choices: Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Harrison Butker, or Rashee Rice.
I mean, I guess you kind of made that a little easy.
How so?
It was like a 50-50 in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, because nobody's going to want to zap Pat Mahomes or Travis Kelce. The obvious choice is Rashee Rice or like, no, that's the obvious choice. Come on.
I put Patrick
Come on,
Mahomes
Butker.
because there's definitely a Scotty Scheffler kind of vibe to that. Like, he is like such a good person, goody two shoes, that if you saw the Bleacher Report notification, like, breaking, Patrick Mahomes tased by Secret Service, you're wondering, like, what the hell happened there? How does that happen?
I would love, if you wanted to get me with clickbait, I would be clicking on that faster than you could say Secret Service.
Yeah, 100%. But let's get to going here. We have ourselves an NBA Finals matchup. The Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals, both wrapped up this week. And it will be the Boston Celtics versus Dallas Mavericks. I'm curious what the listeners out there are thinking. You can go ahead and text in as far as who do you want to win, who do you think will win, and Jordan and I will get to that next here on 1080 The Fan Sports Sunday.
Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop
Me the nicest, longest piece of meat. It's so good.
A lot of jacking right now.
That is the only Rashad Taylor that you will hear on this Sports Sunday, because he is out after getting married yesterday.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him.
Get him to the church on time. Oh, he was there on time.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, this is his second marriage. So glad that he showed up and didn't have cold feet.
Can I just say,
Last second just being like, yeah, actually, I remember how this went down the first time. I'm out.
on a quick personal note, that was really cool. I'm a product of many divorces, and to see the
A product of many divorces.
I'm not.
Isn't there usually only one divorce between
one set of parents?
Oh,
Yes.
okay, I see.
Yeah. No, I don't want to go like two therapy.
So
session
having
here.
a step parent,
and then
they
you
split
lose
up,
the
and
step
you-
parent
gotcha,
too.
all right.
Like, so 5 divorces essentially between my two parents total that I dealt with before the age of 18, and to see the implementation of both of their kids with each other, and on the altar, just really implementing them and saying like, hey, I love you and welcome to my family. That really touched me. Like that kind of that got a tear to my eye, and that was really nice to see the love in that family. So moving on, just wanted to point that out. And God, what a great couple that Rashad and Mia are, and are going to continue to be.
Yeah, I'd never met his wife before, but she seems lovely. She seems fun. She seems jovial.
Oh my gosh,
All the good stuff.
all of it.
All the good stuff.
Actually, I tried not to. I stayed out of her way. I did not introduce myself to her last night. I'm like,
I
it's your
caught
wedding
her
day.
for
I'll meet you later.
Oh, dude, I caught her for like 5 to 10 seconds, and then like immediately after, kind of introducing, someone was like, "Me a picture," and I was like, Go do your thing. I did what I needed to do. That was the same thing with his mom when she was passing by real quick. I was just like, hey, Rashad's mom, right? Hey, Joe, I work with him at the radio station. Just wanted to say hi. I've heard a lot about you. All right. And then she was off doing her thing.
Yeah, I jumped in on that with you. I apologize.
Oh, dude, I don't care. It's all good. I mean, yeah, again, I had seen and heard of her many, many times.
Totally.
So I was just like, let me, and I was surprised about how many people even knew about this dumb show that we do. They brought it up. Rashad mentioned something, I think, during his speech at the cocktail party, and then even when we talked to Rashad's mom, dude, they're like, "Oh, the radio guys! Oh,
there was like a group of 10
There's like
people.
5 or 6 of them."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "How do you guys know about this?"
That was so sweet.
Yeah. So
Shout out to your fam.
good set of people over there at the Rashad Taylor wedding. On the text line about this World Series, my God, NBA Finals.
You wish. Actually, I kind of wish.
I know, right? I think this series boils down to what version of Porzingis the Celtics get. If he's close to 100%, the Celtics win. If not, it's a toss-up, in my opinion. Interesting. So,
Okay.
get to the Porzingis factor, but Jordan, I'm flummoxed. I don't know what to do here, because my original prediction, I think, before the conference finals, when the conference finals were set for the East and West, I had the Mavericks beating the Timberwolves. I had the Celtics beating the Pacers. And I'm almost certain I took the Celtics winning the championship in 6 games is what my prediction was before the conference finals.
Look
so
at you, Mr. Smarty. Congrats.
Well, hey, at least I'm not going to sit here and say that I had the Mavericks all along, before the playoffs started, right? Like,
No, you'll
I've always thought the Mavericks were going to be here.
Thanks, Stephen A. Moving on.
Yeah.
God.
So, with that being said, though, I'm still kind of, like I said, flummoxed is the word, because I really don't know what the Celtics are going to do as far as a size component. They have a great core 4 players on the backcourt, and I guess you would say the forwards of the Jays, in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, and Derek White. And Luka and Kyrie, they're going to get theirs, right? As far as offense goes, this series is going to have plenty of it. But I am really, I don't know if concerned is the right word, or curious to see how Boston is able to counteract the size of the Dallas Mavericks. As that texter says, what type of Porzingis are they going to get? But Porzingis isn't a down low paint guy for the most part. Yeah, he'll bang a little bit and he'll be down there just because he is 7'2", 7'3". But as far as size and strength goes, I mean, you're given the lean towards the Mavericks with Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington. He does hit threes, but he'll go down low as well. That length and size on that side of this matchup, that's the part that makes me very, very curious to see how this series goes and how Boston is going to be able to counteract that. Because I'm still sticking with my Celtics. 6 games, winning this 4-2 over the Mavericks. I think that this is going to be their like coronation series, and that like, hey, we were this good all season long in the regular season. We've mopped the floor with all of our opponents in the Eastern Conference. And yeah, you could bring up the injuries factor, but even with that, we still did what we needed to do, right? No Halliburton. We beat them in, what is that, 4 or 5 games. We played against the Heat. No Jimmy Butler. We took care of them in quick work in 5 games. I'm forgetting the Cleveland Cavaliers. No Mitchell, no Allen, whatever the case was. We took care of them in 5 games. It wasn't like they played with their food and it was a 7-game series without these players, right? Like they were like, okay, this team is down one of their key players. Let's take care of business. And they did in all 3 of those series, right? It wasn't competitive really in all of them. I guess you could say in the Pacers it was a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, Celtics, again, they won that series in, was that a sweep? I'm trying to remember. I don't think the Pacers got one, right? I'm totally blanking.
I feel like they got one, but God, I'm such a goldfish.
Seriously, right? Like I am completely blanking on whether they got
4-0. Solid sweep.
Okay. So
yeah, it was because there was the game 1 collapse, I think, that you kind of thought that there was a Pacers win in there, and from there it was just nope, Pacers, bye-bye.
And then that game 4 was a pretty good one, actually. Now I'm thinking
105-102 final,
on Memorial Day on Monday when they played. So yeah, I'm still leaning Boston, but I'm very, very curious to see what they do with the size of Dallas.
You know, I know Dallas is technically, they are a bigger team, but the Pacers had some size as well. It's not like they're really throwing, I get that Lively's going to be getting block after block down there, but, you know, Gafford was the one who's only 6'10" that was kind of starting out these games for Dallas whenever they just kind of needed to get the offense going. Well, he's going to either get a couple of buckets down low, just easy, you know, start the offense to Gafford, or he's going to pick up a couple off of rebounds, and they were able to just kind of go consistently through the first quarter through Gafford through a lot of the playoffs so far. But Indiana, you know, they have Miles Turner, 6'10", Pascal Siakam's a little bit smaller, but he plays in the middle a lot. Boston handled that just fine. I'm not scared to see Boston throwing a 7-foot Al Horford out there, plus a 7-foot whatever Kristaps Porzingis. You know, Kristaps in this, if he plays in this instance, he's going to be the one to stretch this out. Horford's going to be the guy that's going to play a little more down low, but you know the NBA now. Everybody's a stretch. They're all kind of hanging around the 3-point line a lot. And yeah, they're probably going to get some block shots. Tatum might, you know, be going to the hoop and just get some stuff just absolutely thrown out that you maybe wouldn't expect during the last couple of playoff series because they've been playing so well. But that's kind of the key here. Boston has been playing so well at the right time of year. And even if Dallas is big, can you stop their 3 scorers when they're on, Joe? I don't think you can. Tatum and Brown and whoever you want to throw in, I mean, whether it be Derek White one game, whether it be Horford hitting 7 threes to seal the series another game, like they are unstoppable when they're scoring. So I don't care how big the other team is. I hate to say it, but I think I got to lean Boston here as well. You said 5 or 6.
Yeah, I'm going 4-2 Boston on this.
If you're asking me to put money on it, yeah, it's probably like a -200, Boston and 6, but I would throw my money on that.
Also on the Vancouver Ford text line, should I do the read? Let's do the read.
Oh,
I'll text
throw it in there.
Via Vancouver Ford text line. Your dollar goes further at Vancouver Ford. Treat you right before, during, and after the sale. Visit VancouverFord.com. People are overcomplicating this series. The Mavs are the shiny new toy, and the C's are kind of old hat. But Boston is the better team overall and will win. I also think people are placing way too much stock in the failures of years ago, which I totally understand that. One of the things that drives me nuts about a current playoff series or team or something happening in the now is people like, well, here's their past record in conference finals or an NBA final. I'm like, okay, cool. So what does that have to do with now and this team with different players and this situation? Like, oh, nothing, because that was the past.
That's only relevant to the Cowboys.
Like, yeah, basically. Yeah.
Sorry, Joe.
Why we got to do this?
I had to take this shot.
Listen, I'm already catching strays because the damn Dallas Stars. Shooty Stars!
Yes.
And who else? The Dallas Mavericks, because of two Dallas teams that are potentially going to be in championship rounds.
In an NFL market. My God. It is like poetry as a
Oh,
sports
God.
fan.
I'm just sitting at home the other night watching like Sports Center or something like that, and they throw up a graphic like, how many years since the last conference finals or like league championship that these Dallas-based teams have been at? Rangers, 0 years. Dallas Stars, 0 years. Dallas Mavericks, 0 years. Dallas Cowboys, 27 years or some crap. And I'm just like, well, why we got to do this? Why am I catching strays? But hey, honestly, put that pressure on them. I don't even care. Yeah, and I agree with that texter in that overcomplicating the series. I feel like we're definitely prisoners of the moment sometime.
Yeah.
And what we just saw with the Mavericks and Kyrie and Luka and what they did the other night is that we're kind of lost in that moment. Like, damn, they're really good. That's a really good backcourt that is just potent offensively and seems to get any bucket they want. But this Celtics team won 64 games for a reason. They're really good too. They have, again, 4 players on their starting lineup between the Jays, Drew Holiday, who's a champion, and Derek White, who's been playing fantastically for them this entire season, that I'm going to lean towards the Celtics. I don't want to overthink this and overcomplicate it too much. I mean, the Mavericks are a great team, no doubt. Right now, and I couldn't tell if this was more so a value thing or if this is how the audience actually feels, but referencing the AAA heating and cooling poll question from Primetime the other day, the question is, where is your money going for the NBA Finals? And the Mavericks won that poll question 52.6% to 47.4%. The Celtics are a minus 210 favorite. Mavericks a plus 175 dog.
So people playing the other side there. Okay, that's interesting.
Which I don't blame you. Like, right? If you're
course
going to, that's not... It's not crazy, plus 175. That's pretty good odds. So it's like, why not throw a couple bucks on the Mavericks to take the series and win it? But I think just talent-wise, again, very curious to see what they do to combat the size. Outside of Porzingis, I mean, who are you going to throw out there as far as length and size-wise? I mean,
Cornette.
Seriously, he is the next tallest person on that roster.
God.
Outside of Kristaps Porzingis at 7'1". And then you got...
Horford.
Yeah, but he is registered 6'9" on the roster. The next tallest guy after him is Tatum at 6'8", Xavier Tillman at 6'7". They got some dude, Nemius Queta at 7 foot. Tell me if you've heard of him before.
I've seen his card. That's about it.
Drew Peterson, 6'9". I think this was the kid where the pictures of him were going around in the locker room of him with the Eastern Conference Finals trophy out of his locker, and people are like, who the hell is that? It was like when Kendrick Perkins was taking a picture with the Eastern Conference Finals trophy when he was on the Cavs that one random years ago, and people were like, no, don't do this. Do not let him take a picture with that trophy.
I think us West Coasters should know who Drew Peterson is. He played in the now deceased Pac-12 for USC.
I'm seeing that now, USC. Yeah, I do not remember
I don't know.
at all.
Nope.
But yeah, I am curious to see what the Celtics do with the size of the Mavericks and if that becomes a problem for them. I think they do have the coaching advantage, the Mavericks do, and Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
But we shall see what happens. Game 1 of this series will start on Thursday, June 6th, and that is a 5:30 tip-off time on ABC. Now, the Mavericks, they did lose one game in the Western Conference Finals. In Minnesota, they were the victors, but there was something that happened after the game that many of you might not have noticed, and I want to bring this up because I think we can all join hands in unison and get behind this. We get to that next, Sports Sunday on 1080 The Fan.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, the first-place Seattle Mariners handling the Los Angeles Angels 9-0. Last night, thanks to a grand slam from J.P. Crawford, they're going for the sweep this afternoon with Griffin Canning and Luis Castillo on the bump. First pitch set for 1:10 p.m. on Root Sports. Onto the ice, the Florida Panthers have stamped their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals, beating the New York Rangers 2-1 last night in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And later today, You're going to see maybe going to see who's going to get to the west side of things as Edmonton faces off against Dallas in Game 6 of that series, leading 3-2. Oilers hosting that one. 5 p.m. puck drop on TNT. And in the world of golf, you've got the Canadian Open happening right now up at Hamilton Golf and Country Club in Ontario. Robert McIntyre, your leader at 14 under. He's getting going with one of the guys tied for second place, Ben Griffin at 11.25. Mackenzie Hughes and Ryan Fox also tied for second place, all at 10 under par. They're getting going at 11:15. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte at the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Live, local, and free. No subscription required. Portland's sports leader.
From the gentleman's sweep in the Western Conference Finals. But there was something that I saw arise from this game in this broadcast that I saw, and basically it was like, hey, inside the NBA, take note of this. You should probably take note of this. But the Minnesota Timberwolves were apparently in lockstep with each other that no player after the win was going to do a post-game interview with the Inside the NBA crew. Not one. So Anthony Edwards, not Anthony Bennett, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, whoever it was that they requested, apparently they were in lockstep that they did not want to do the post-game interview with the Inside the NBA crew. Why, you may ask? Is because they did not want to go up there after Draymond Green and everything he was saying and how he felt towards Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns and that team, which he made clear as day obvious after the last few games when they were in Minnesota. And I don't know if it was a scheduling conflict, but I did notice that Draymond was not there for Game 5 in Minnesota after Dallas won. So he was not a part of the broadcast. But basically, I would say take note inside the NBA in that if you have one season left of this broadcast, and if you are doing this for one more year, keep Draymond Green as far away from Studio J as possible. Do not let him come on any of the broadcasts in the playoffs. I don't know whose decision that was. I don't know if anybody is reading Twitter, Reddit, anything. It is a vast majority of people that are not fans of his being on that broadcast whatsoever. And me being one of them is, please, for the love of God, do not have him on the broadcast going forward, especially if this is your last year. They're probably going to throw him on some broadcasts in December or some random ones during, I don't know, like All-Star break weekend, whatever they do. But for the love of God, do not bring him on any playoff broadcast next year, preferably any broadcasts at all going forward.
Every single sports fan I've talked to asks me, why is Draymond Green on that coverage? Do you have any inkling? And I'm kind of left wordless. It's so frustrating to see. I guess really the reason why he feels so emboldened and empowered to continue to act like he does, one of the main reasons being is people behind the scenes in the NBA continue to give him these opportunities. You would think that the person that was suspended for 20, 25 games for egregious physical behavior against other players, I mean, stuff that would get you arrested for assault in the real world.
That's assault, brother.
Exactly. And you know, I sound a little like, oh, I'm getting up on my high horse here, but am I really? Like, is it okay to actually go around smacking people like that in the balls, smacking people like that, tripping them in the stomach, stomping on them when they're on the ground?
Shaq would be,
smack him in the face, Ernie. That's what you're supposed to do, Ernie.
Well, Well, Shaq and I obviously differ on that, and I think he and I probably differ on a lot of other different things, probably agree on a few things as well. But I think a lot of other people disagree with Shaq on that also. It's like, dude, really? Draymond Green should not be given any kind of platform. He already has his podcast. For some reason, people still want to listen to it. You know what? I'm a basic bitch, Joe, but I find no actual discernible reason as to why anybody would want to listen to Draymond or actually give him a platform. I don't know what those suits are thinking. Unless they're all just buddies, I do not know what's on their minds at TNT, why this would be a good look, or if they just live in such a bubble that they just don't effing care. I don't know.
You're sick to my stomach, fam. But
Yep.
Yeah, Draymond Green apparently, and as I go and look up his name on Twitter, I don't know why this happened, but apparently he was also at the desk at the Champions League final yesterday too, because, you know, if that's what soccer fans want to see is Draymond Green on their broadcast. Because that makes a lot of sense.
I guess we really, I hate it. I see it every day, and I just don't want to admit it, but we do live in a world.
Joel Embiid apparently was there too, but, you know, I'll give him a pass because at least he, like, probably watches soccer from an international standpoint. Like, from Cameroon, part French, like, I'm sure he actually, like, pays attention
Grew up
to
in
soccer.
the game a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, whereas, like, again, who's calling the shots here? Am I taking crazy pills? What is happening?
The fact that people are still answering Draymond Green's representatives' calls is astounding to me. But we live in a world where once you're in the club, you're in the club. And that's the way that it is, Joe, and I don't really know how to put it beyond that. He's a great basketball player, but he has shown, and you can cite what a great family man and what a great husband and a great father that he's been. It's like, yeah, well, he set a terrible example for his wife and his kids too, specifically his kids, going out and acting like this and saying, Daddy's in the right. No, he's not.
I am curious if there's anybody out there listening, and you can text in 503-864-6326, if you actually enjoy having Draymond on the broadcast at all. And also just text in if you agree with us too, because I would love to know if, like, we're out to lunch on this, or because it seems like the consensus on this is that they are literally making that program worse. And it's a good thing he wasn't there during Game 5 when that was their last broadcast of the year, because it was just the crew, the 4 of them. And
Yeah, the OGs.
yeah, and it was watchable. What a concept. When I've seen Draymond on it, it's like just automatic channel turn, and it's just like, okay, I'll halftime, pregame, whatever. I'll watch something else, and then I'll get back to the game.
Well, you don't. You know that you don't actually have to believe what's coming out of the Golden State Warriors' mouths about their players either. Steve Kerr earlier this year saying, "Well, we support Draymond. We need him on the roster." Well, they said the same thing about Klay Thompson at the end of the year, and there is no extension in sight with the Warriors. So. This just really confuses me, Joe. We know that there's contention for Draymond Green amongst people in the league, but apparently it doesn't go high up enough to stop these kinds of opportunities from being given. It's astounding to me. And yeah, please, if I'm wrong, text me on the Vancouver Ford text line. Get me off my soapbox. But I want good people to be rewarded with good opportunities. And when I see a-holes get rewarded for being a-holes with those same opportunities, that literally makes me want to pull my hair out.
Hey, someone brings up a great point, though, that it worked out for Bill Laimbeer as he was a WNBA coach. 3-time WNBA champion as a head coach.
Who was the Celtics legendary announcer and it's stuffed by Laimbeer, the dirtiest player in the NBA? Yep.
I totally forgot about Laimbeer being a WNBA coach.
I did too.
Won 2 championships. No, wait, 3 with the Detroit Shock. Well, there you go. I mean, it was the Detroit team. It's not like it was. But hey, he was ended up parlaying that into a New York Liberty job, and then he was the coach for the Aces just up until a couple of years ago. Now I think they have Becky Hammond?
Yes,
as their
I
head
believe
coach.
she took that job.
So
still might get a job in the NBA someday, from what I'm hearing about Becky Hammond. So.
We'll see. Sauces say. Oh, you're on the text line as well. Someone bringing up some hockey stuff.
Shooty scores!
Florida versus Dallas. What an S finals. It could have been Rangers-Oilers. I agree with you there. That would have been a good classic series there.
Yeah, the general hockey fan probably isn't tuning in. Yeah.
And actually, good thing we brought up hockey, because we've seen this happen in hockey before. The 3-0 series deficit that team overcomes to win the series 4-3. We've seen it in baseball. I was apparently really bored yesterday because we have yet to see the 3-0 deficit overcame by an NBA team to win a series. We've seen teams win 3 in a row but not get that 7th game. And I was just curious how many times we saw a team win 4 straight games in an NBA series. Like, obviously we've seen that with sweeps, first round sweeps. We see them all the time. But I was more so curious how many times we had seen it with a 2-0 deficit.
Ooh.
And how many playoff series they have been. And so how many ones we had seen from a 3-1 deficit, which obviously is just 3 wins in a row.
It wasn't the drinking. This is what made you sleepy, Joe, because it sounds like you had to dive into a lot of numbers.
I found them, though.
Good for you.
I found them. So, just fun diving into this. We'll get into this next. How many teams in history? Because I also wanted to see, how often are we seeing teams win 4 straight games in a tough scenario when even being down 2 games and a team just has to win 2 more and you go and win 4 straight, don't even give them a chance. I mean, we have seen it happen before. So let's do some history lesson here on Sports Sunday on 1080 The Fan next.
Did you know the law requires insurance companies to pay you 100% of your auto claim in cash? At Lake,
the Odyssey app, and 1080 The Fan.
Some more texts across the Vancouver Ford text line. It's the Howard Stern philosophy. People who hated him would tune in to see what he'd say. Hate watching. Just like I'm sure you are, some people are doing to this very show. Hate listening.
It's very true.
Appreciate it.
I get that concept. Just stop it. We're talking about Draymond Green from the last segment. Just stop giving bad people good opportunities. If you want, a person that's like, okay, we need to see what they're saying because they're so outlandish and we think their opinions suck is fine.
It's
but
just
like,
with him. It's like it is so clearly biased in this series.
Yeah.
I mean, like you're literally gonna have the dude on the broadcast against a team that has a player that he tried to choke out earlier in the
true.
season, which like. Come on, what are we doing? Like, oh, he's all of a sudden be like, man, yeah, actually, Rudy, really good guy, really good player, and also I think he has some, very much has some envious attitude towards him because of all the Defensive Player of the Year awards that he wins, and that Draymond thinks he is just as good of a defender, if not better than Rudy, which whatever. But I think there's definitely a level of jealousy from that standpoint as well. Oh, my God. I'm watching the RBC Canadian. The cameraman literally almost just got taken out by a golf ball. That thing, that might have hit him.
that doesn't happen very often.
Dude, that thing, he was like halfway down the fairway, and he was like getting the shot of the golf ball coming into land, and it literally just went off frame to the left, and then he looks down, and the golf ball's like a foot away.
And Tommy Fleetwood just broke our $100,000 camera.
Dear God.
Oh, God.
What else here? Yeah, I don't know. This is on the YouTube chat. I don't know if someone was saying that this was the commentator on the broadcast, John Havlicek, with that Lambeer call that you were talking about.
Maybe Havlicek, or maybe they were saying Havlicek was another sports villain. I was kind of wondering.
Havlicek stole the ball.
Exactly.
Havlicek stole the ball.
Yeah, and well, didn't he punch Rudy Tomjanovich as well? What was it? Or who? Or was that Kermit? No, that's Kermit Washington.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah.
So Kermit Washington technically on that villains list, but there are several people from back in that day that were a lot more physical than they are now in the NBA.
Quick tangent.
Obviously, of course.
Reading Havlicek's wiki page, the personal life section, or actually post-playing career section, rather. He was shrewd with his money during his playing career, and he invested much of his income in the Wendy's fast food chain during its formative years. The success of his investments left Havlicek with a comfortable income after retirement, and he never had to work for a conventional salary again.
That's
Get that
amazing.
Wendy's money, brother.
Well, then I guess taking a shot from Bill Lambier was worth it for John Havlicek, and honestly, one of several guys that actually was successful, like really successful in business later on in life. There's many of those athletes that ended up investing in a restaurant chain or starting business and just going bankrupt. See Kurt Schilling as a good example of that.
What are you talking about? What happened?
The entire state of Rhode Island. I digress.
Well, you know what? Thank you, John Havlicek, because I would say that Wendy's is definitely top 3 best fast food chain as far as when it comes to quality of burgers. Love their fries as well.
I go BK top fries for me. Hot fast food take.
I would say
Burger King's
best
fries, baby.
overall menu selection, quality of burgers, quality of food, the Frosty.
That goes to Wendy's.
I'm putting Wendy's at least top 3, and they're making a fight for number 1.
I just had a Frosty on Friday night. S is good, baby.
It's been a while since I've had a Frosty, but I do know. I appreciate game recognized game when it comes to the Frosty.
Well, when they started the vanilla Frosty, I'm just like, stop it. All right, it's a fat kid's dream.
Yeah, now they got that orange creamsicle one, which
Wait, what?
they have a orange creamsicle Frosty that
Oh,
I have
God.
yet to get for my son. He's a big orange creamsicle fan, and we have yet to make that stop at Wendy's to let him get one. But I digress. As we get back to sports stuff, I went through and poured through the records. First of all, do you want to take a guess of how many Game 7 series there have been in NBA history? How many?
Series that have gone to a Game 7?
No, just Game 7 series that have been played. So whether it went to 4, 5, 6, or 7, just a total of Game 7
thank you.
series
Okay, that all
in
right.
the history of the NBA.
4,000 something?
Eliminate a 0. 406
Okay.
Game 7. Because we started doing the Game 7s in the first round back in, what was that, 2012? 2013? I could be way off.
Oh,
on that.
yeah, duh. That makes sense. Yeah, we eliminated the first round 5-game series. Actually, even before that, it was actually in the mid 2000s because
That makes more sense.
it was the
yeah.
first season that the Portland that it was in practice that the Portland Trailblazers came back in the first round against the Dallas Mavericks from a 3-0 deficit and actually came back and played Game 7, did not win.
2003, first round was extended to a best of 7 series.
And that was that season. That was at that Game 4 where they started that series comeback. Pretty
but
fun.
406 Game 7 series in NBA history. Teams that were able to overcome a 2-0 deficit and win 4 straight games. Because the 4 straight, I mean, that's what you got to do when you're down 3-0. So I was like, all right, that's never happened, obviously. So let's take a look at the 2-0 series deficit and how many teams have gone on to win 4 straight games. Because at that point, I mean, seems like both teams are pretty damn good in that series. One team wins the first 2 games. Seems like they're clearly capable of getting a win. I didn't want to see 4 straight wins in a sweep. We see that all the time in the first round.
But the whole argument is that winning 4 straight while down is really hard, if not near impossible.
Yes, because it's never happened
Yeah.
in a 3-0 series. But do you want to guess how many times it has happened down 2-0?
10?
14 times.
Wow. So we're looking at out of 400, that's like, shoot, less than like 0.3%?
Let's
0.5?
pull out my trusty calculator here. Yeah, 3.4% of NBA series, we have seen a team overcome a 2-0 deficit and win 4 straight games. We've seen, on this list also, there's plenty of teams. I think it was like 30. It's happened 30-something times where a team has overcome a 2-0 deficit and then won it in Game 6 or Game 7. So it made it, a 7-game series. But to win 4 straight after going down 2-0,
Yeah.
that has only happened 14 times. The teams that did it in the first round of the playoffs, 2017 Celtics, 2016 Blazers against the Clippers, and that was mostly due to injury. That was when Chris Paul went out. I want to say that Blake Griffin went out, and it was just an avalanche for the Blazers where they were able to win 4 in a row. 2013 Grizzlies and 2005 Wizards, which I weirdly remember that series because it was against the Bulls. And I remember it was like a 4-versus-5. That was like the Kirk Heinrich Bulls teams back then. In the semifinals, the 2021 Clippers were able to do that against the Jazz, 2004 Lakers, and then the 1969 Lakers. In the conference finals, this is when it has happened in history. The 93 Bulls, pretty good team.
Yeah.
They were able to beat the Knicks, overcome a 2-0 deficit to go to the NBA Finals. The 2007 LeBron James-led Cavaliers were able to overcome the Detroit Pistons, which had a couple championships under their belt, and they were able to win that series and advance to the conference or the WNBA, the NBA Finals, where they then lost to the Spurs 4-0 in that series. This one I do remember, the 2012 Thunder versus the Spurs.
Yeah.
Because that was, I just remember being shocked that the Spurs, being the Spurs,
The Spurs were, that dynasty was starting to topple,
were at a 2-0 series lead in the conference finals and then lost 4 straight to Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook.
Kind of the changing of the guard of the NBA.
The young Thunder. Now the Spurs, they went and made up for it the very next year by winning the NBA Finals against the Heat.
One more time, but that was, you could start to see the cracks in the Spurs shield at that point.
Correct. And then the 2019 Toronto Raptors with Kawhi Leonard, they overcame a 2-0 deficit against the Bucks in the conference finals. And I remember that as well because I just remember Giannis and the Bucks catching a lot of heat for that. Like, you had a 2-0 series lead. When is it going to be your time? When are you going to finally show up in the playoffs and get to the NBA finals, which they were able to 2 years later? Now, can you name the 3 teams that were able to overcome a 2-0 deficit? You should know one of these. Now, I won't be surprised if, you don't get it, but looking up this, I sure as hell didn't know it until I looked it up. I remember hearing it in the past, but if I were to be asked this question, I don't think I would have been able to guess any one of these.
This is
honestly.
the NBA Finals.
NBA Finals. The 3 teams that were able to overcome a 2-0 deficit.
Are the Warriors one? Didn't they come back from one of them? No.
The Warriors are not one. The Cavs
Okay.
are the only team in NBA Finals to overcome the 3-1 deficit.
Okay.
With LeBron, and that was the year that Klay Thompson said that he must have been in his feelings and must have been, a little too sensitive. And then Draymond Green got suspended for Game 6. That was that same series.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, NBA Finals, 3 teams. One happened recently. One happened against a team that is in this year's NBA Finals. There's a hint. And then one is near and dear to our hearts.
Just lay them on me, dude. My alcohol's clouding my brain this morning. my feet are the biggest thing on my mind.
2021 Bucks.
Oh, duh.
So against the Phoenix Suns in 2021.
The great Monty Williams collapse, yes.
The Suns
How could I forget?
Got the first 2 games, and then the Bucks went on to win 4 straight to win the NBA Finals. The next one, this was the one where I said it was against a team that is in this year's NBA Finals, and that was the Dallas Mavericks. They went up 2-0 and then lost 4 straight to the Miami Heat, the Dwayne Wade, Shaquille O'Neal Miami Heat team. They won 4 straight over the Dallas Mavericks in that NBA Finals.
Oh, I forgot that Dallas, they were kind of close to getting 2 at that point.
They were up 2-0 in that series and then lost 4 straight. And then the other team, this was the one that is near and dear to our hearts, Jordan, the 1977 Portland Trailblazers. They were down 2-0 to the Philadelphia 76ers, and then Bill Walton, rest in peace, and those Trailblazers were able to win 4 straight to win the NBA Finals. Another fun fact about that Trailblazers team that I did not know, that was their first playoff appearance ever for the Trailblazers. Like that core of players, I think maybe as a franchise, I don't know, I'd have to look that up, but the whole adage of this team, they don't have playoff experience, they haven't been here before, I'm not going to take them to go to the NBA Finals or win the NBA because they've never been here. They don't have the experience. This was one of those teams that threw it back in the face of pundits, of the media, of everybody, because they had not been to this position ever before.
Yeah, it was their first playoff season ever.
There you go. First playoff season ever in Trailblazers history led to a championship in 1977 and them overcoming a 2-0 deficit.
Only won 49 games that year.
Really?
Yes.
I know that I want to say that they were like the 3 seed in the West.
They were the second of 5 in the, I think, second of 5.
Second of 5 seeds?
Yeah.
5, wait, what?
Maybe that's their division.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That would make a little bit more sense, yeah.
No, I think, because it's just weird because on the reference page it says like 7 sometimes, but then it's 5 because I think they were like, they did like a Western Conference or a Western Division with the Blazers, Lakers, Timberwolves, like Nuggets all in one, and that's when it was 7. So I got you.
And from this list, there was only one team that had ever overcame a 2-0 deficit twice in one playoff run, and that was the 2021 Bucks. They were in the NBA Finals, overcame the deficit 2-0, won the series 4-2. And I want to say it was either their second round or the conference finals. They were also down 2-0.
Jeez.
And they won the series in 7 games. So they did drop another game in that series, but they are the only team in NBA history to go down 2-0 twice in a playoff run and win both those series.
That's extra impressive because you think about the actual numbers of playoff games, you're literally looking at almost half a season, if you're playing the 28 games. And if actually, heck, now with the play-in, you could play 30 or more games essentially just in the playoffs if you make it to the NBA Finals. So that's impressive. It's why those comebacks are so rare.
So, a little bit of fun little history right there. I was curious the other day because, again, it's like that 3-0 deficit where a team wins 4 straight. We will see it someday. Yeah. It will happen, but the fact that we have gone over 400 playoff series, Game 7 series in the NBA, and have yet to see it happen, and then we've only seen the 2-0 deficit overcame with 4 straight wins. 3% of the time, 3.4% of the time. That's pretty rare in itself too.
Another perfect game in MLB or this happening first? Which do you predict, Joe?
Another perfect game,
like which a perfect game coming, or like which will happen first? A perfect game in MLB from today, or
I'll go
a series deficit being won by a team down 3-0.
I'll go perfect game.
Okay,
yeah, I'll go perfect game because the fact that we've seen a perfect game. I mean,
that's a good point.
What was the last one? Was Felix though?
I believe it.
Am I correct? No, we just
Didn't
got
the
a
Astros? Yeah, the Astros kid threw a perfect game this year. I thought.
Renel Blanco did not.
No,
throw
it was a
perfect
no-hitter.
game.
My bad.
Yeah.
Thought we got one since Felix, but it might
I
have
was
been
gonna
Felix.
say, I feel like we just had one
last year. Yeah.
I was like, wait a second.
Armando Galarraga. Just kidding.
Well, yeah, let's not do that. But MLB perfect.
I got
games.
a Corvette out of the deal. He's all right.
Oh my God, this kills me. It's like it literally just happened. There's too many damn sports, man. Domingo Herman
Thank you.
from the Yankees last year. That's what it was. All right, dear God. Okay, let's take a break. Hour number 1 in the books. We got some football stuff to get to. Team has been selected for Hard Knocks. I want to get to some audio that has to do with our poll question for today. By the way, our poll question on the 1080 The Fan Twitter account, brought to you by Zima. Which Kansas City Chiefs player would you want to get tased by Secret Service? Is it Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Harrison Butker, or Rashee Rice? And the numbers have shifted. Now, the leader in this poll, it is not. He has stayed the leader in this the entire time. And right now, still Harrison Butker in the lead at 44%. But we'll get to some Travis Kelce, though. He is coming up the rear at 29.6%.
They're all just jealous because he's with Tay-Tay and they're not. That's where that's coming
Rashee
from.
Rice, he started out at 5% in this poll. He has now climbed the rankings. He is tied with Patrick Mahomes at 13%.
It's because they remembered what he did.
They're like, wait, why is he on this?
Oh,
yeah, that's
crap.
right. All right, let's take a break. Hour number 2 coming up here. Sports Sunday, 1080 The Fan.
Hey, it's
to Sports Sunday right here on 1080 The Fan Sports Radio, the Odyssey app. You can also watch us on YouTube, or for the kids, watch us on Twitch.
Hi, kids.
I believe that is under the Just Chatting page, because, on Twitch, it's like, which game do you want to watch? Like, are you trying to watch people streaming on, some NBA 2K, some Fortnite, this game, whatever. I believe it is the Just Chatting is the page or the game, I guess it gets filed under.
Do I want to watch them walking around town talking to themselves all day? I could do that on Twitch.
Hey, man.
A lot of people. No, I'm not begging it. A lot of people making a lot of money doing
I will
that,
say, during COVID times when there was literally no sports going on, Grand Theft Auto streams.
Oh, I bet.
I spent a lot of time watching some Grand Theft Auto streams of people role-playing as their characters, which sounds about as nerdy as you would think. Hilarious, though. It was hilarious. Sad, maybe, but hilarious, okay? And those guys make bank, all right?
Oh, I do not doubt it.
Weirdly enough, one of the guys that was streaming who had a character on there, what was his name? Carl from The Walking Dead.
Oh, like an actual actor.
Yeah,
was on
the kid Carl, The Walking Dead, who at this point in 2020, I think he was probably like 19 or something.
Of course,
like that.
he's already got a following. It's easy to find him. Like, hey, look, it's that famous.
But
person.
yeah, he was on
Yeah,
there.
I'm sure he was.
And he wasn't even like one of the top characters role-playing people on there. Like
Okay.
he was an ancillary person in the server. But yeah, I was like, wait a second, that's Carl from The Walking Dead. I was like, that's about as random as it gets.
What a world we live in. I mean, Kevin Spacey on the House of Cards show on Netflix used to like play Call of Duty all the time. So it would be pretty wacky to like just, twitch yourself in and, oh, look, it's Kevin Spacey playing Call of Duty. Who wants to watch that?
Yeah, I'm curious what our Twitch numbers are like. I'm sure they're insane. Don't look them up. Please don't look them up. Hey, we have some audio from the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl White House visit that just happened recently. I believe on Thursday, maybe Friday. I can't remember exactly what day it was. But Travis Kelce, he was asked to come to the podium, and we have that audio ready, Jordan? All right, let's go ahead and fire that off.
I'd have Travis come up here, but God only knows what he'd say. Travis, come here. It's all yours, pal.
My fellow Americans, it's nice to see you all yet again. I'm not going to lie, President Biden, they told me if I came up here I'd get tased, so I'm going to go back to my spot, all right?
So that is what led to today's poll question on which Kansas City Chiefs player would you want to see get tased by Secret Service? Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Harrison Butker, or Rashee Rice? My personal vote goes to Patrick Mahomes, just for the sheer insanity of the news cycle that would happen around something like that. Like, you are just going about your day, and then you get the Bleacher Report notification that says Patrick Mahomes arrested and tased by Secret Service during White House visit. Oh my God. That you want to, like, the Scotty Scheffler stuff was crazy enough. This would be taking that to the nth degree there.
Do I get to throw his wife and his brother in with that?
Actually,
Can we tase the group?
Well, the Patrick Mahomes thing would be like, oh my God, what happened? Oh my! If he saw that was Jackson
Jackson
Mahomes, he'd be like,
Mahomes.
oh, okay, he probably
Duh.
did something to deserve that. He probably tried to like TikTok dance somewhere in the White House that he wasn't allowed to. They're like, sir,
Although he
sir, you're not allowed that, sir. Zzz.
did, to his credit, he did like shield a kid with his body during the shooting during the Kansas City parade.
Jackson?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
So he actually, I did see, rightfully so, a lot of props on social media because he literally put his life at risk for a child.
Well, good for Jackson. He needs some good PR points at this point.
No kidding. And I doubt he did it in the moment just for the good PR points.
I'm going to go Travis Kelce, maybe a close second, because of being able to see if he can withstand a tasing. I mean, he is a 6'7", 6'8" tight end, right? Like,
Yeah.
250 pounds, whatever the case is. Like, I don't know if how many tasers does it take to take down Travis Kelce? It's almost like tacklers. Like, how many tacklers do you need to get Travis Kelce to the ground? How many tasers do you need to get
How
Travis
many
Kelce?
tasers to get to the center of a Travis Kelce Tootsie Pop?
Oh, boy. And if you want to see the Swifties go crazy
No
and
kidding.
lose their mind, it's like, what they did to Travis is unacceptable.
Don't hurt
Not okay.
Instead of leave Brittany alone, it'd be like, leave Travis alone. Leave him alone.
So yeah, I think I'm going Patrick number 1. He is now gained third place in this poll at 14.2%. Rashee Rice, apparently people either they don't know the story,
They've forgotten,
or they just don't care,
The news
or they think
cycle's
that
so
is not
quick.
that is not Taze worthy at 13.3%. Travis Kelce, just for being Travis Kelce, apparently 28.3%.
Yep.
I feel like that is a lot of. I feel like we're getting a lot of. We're getting political with this poll here because I feel like Travis Kelce and the whole Taylor Swift thing. Maybe that's why a lot of the
Guys,
votes are coming in for him.
Hey,
and then Harrison Butker is running
Yeah,
away
I
with this
bet.
poll at 44.2%.
Guys with penis envy literally voting for Travis Kelce. Like, dang it, that MFer. Like, we know. You're jealous, buddy.
Instead of Rashee Rice, I was thinking about just throwing in like the long snapper, just because it'd be like, my God, poor guy.
Who?
Like,
What?
I wasn't even gonna put a name on it. I was just gonna say the long
long
snapper.
snapper.
Like just to hear that, like, oh, long snapper for Kansas City Chiefs gets tased at White House appearance. Do you think the long snapper got invited?
If he's part of the 53-man roster, brother, I think he's extended the invite.
They pull a Happy Gilmore, like, oh, better luck next year.
That's
like, just
funny.
leave him off the list. Like, oh, sorry, there was a capacity as to how many people could have there. Sorry, bud, you're just, you can't come. I apologize.
This is making me think of, so my dad is a retired police officer. At least at the time, every officer in his department had to be tased as part of their training. Like, you literally had to, like, step
Are we
up.
sure that was a protocol or not, or that was just their department saying, like, oh, no, yeah, you got to do this?
Yeah, here, we're going to take the 5 guys that we like the least, and we're going to line you up for quote-unquote training.
You got to do it.
this
Hey,
quarter.
you got to do a desk pop, all right? When you don't do a desk pop, all right, you spit on the flag, all right, what we stand for.
No, it's just and just hearing this reminds me of what he described it being like. He's like, you lose total control of your body. It hurts, and you want to grab the pins and pull them out, but you literally can't, and you fall over. It is the worst. Just sounds like the worst experience. But I don't know. Like, maybe Rashee Rice and Harrison Butker could fight for that right. I don't know.
Well, you can go ahead and vote on the Sports Sunday poll question brought to you by Zima, which I had to look up if they were still a thing. Not in the U.S. Apparently, somehow, some way, they are still sold in Japan. So I don't know how that works. I don't know if they still have just like leftover Zima from 2005 that they're still trying to go through over there, or they're actually making it and producing it.
I think it's a licensing thing. It was like Oreo O's only available in like South Korea for a certain amount of time. It's because the licensing agreement was, only signed in that country. And I heard Zima in America in the early 90s when it came out, it was actually not popular until people tasted it. Then realized, oh, this is nectar of the gods, baby.
This is terrible, and now we don't want it anymore.
No, my mom was a big Zima drinker, actually. Shout out, Mom. Like, she had the 6-pack of Zima in the fridge all the time as a kid.
Yeah, when discontinued in the U.S. in 2008. Let's bring it back.
Right after I got out of high school.
We're getting to that 20-year mark, right? Where things that were cool 20 years ago, they start to become cool again, right? Isn't that how that works?
Did you ever go with the Mike's Hard Lemonade as a kid in college trying to drink?
Oh, buddy, I went with
Harder?
the Mike's
Harder
lemonade.
There you
Okay,
go.
I had class. Okay,
I went with the limeade, but it was the harder style. All right.
all right. Let's take a break here because let's get to some actual football stuff, shall we? We have a team. We have a team that has been selected for Hard Knocks this season. And a little surprised. Not going to lie to you. We get to that next here. Sports Sunday, 1080 The Fan.
Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop is the spot.
Mike Fluff Cohen, which, if you don't know of Mike Fluff Cohen,
I do not.
nickname is Fluff. I'm assuming for that wicked stash that he has. He has a great lip tickler. And he apparently slipped coming down the hill on the third hole. It's a wet, rainy day out there at the RBC Canadian. He slipped going down the hole, down a hill on the third hole. Was unable to continue caddying, so hope he's okay. But a random fan was asked to carry his clubs the rest of the day, and they got footage of this guy just waltzing down the fairway, throwing on the caddy uniform, like the little sheath that they throw on themselves.
That is so cool.
And this dude, like, he is wearing knee-high cargo pants, New Balances. He's got a Milwaukee's Best boiler hanging out. Like, this guy
that's
looks...
his dream come true.
Oh, my... He's shaking hands with a couple of the other caddies, one of the golfers. Like, he looks like he was like, I don't know how this is happening. I think this is him shaking CT Pan's hand right there. And then, an update minutes after that, 30-something minutes later, a random fan took over for that caddy. So CT Pan is now on his third caddy of the day, two of them being random fans in the audience.
Hey, Bobby, you think a 7 wood here? What the hell are we doing?
How do they choose? Like, do they just ask someone that is near there? Like, I don't know how big the gallery is over by the third hole at the RBC Canadian, but like, hey, can you do it? I guess. Like, how do you test someone that quickly to being a caddy on a PGA Tour event on a Sunday?
I know you could get like a guy like Rob who knows everything, or you could get a guy like me who's like, bro, maybe a 4-iron here. I have no freaking idea. This is as close, Joe, I think you can get to the pros without having any actual athletic talent. Like as maybe like the NHL fill-in goalie, where they have literally had to call a guy in from the crowd at times. It's in an NHL game, a professional hockey game at the highest level, to get somebody to stand in goal.
I feel like they
insane.
have it like by city.
Yeah.
Like each city that they're in, there is a replacement goalie that is like a broker or something like that.
Yeah,
that
he's
is,
like he owns a bar, or
ready to go at any points. Like, yeah, but seeing the video of the first fan that they selected, like, he looks like the quintessential dad of a softball team. Again, like 5'9", like I said, the boiler just hanging out, that big old gut. He's got the cargo shorts that are above the knees. It is just perfect. And he is just waltzing down the fairway, throwing on the caddy uniform. That's fantastic. I was actually on the LPGA website the other day because they have the Portland Open or the Portland Classic in August, and I was looking at some of the volunteer positions out of curiosity, like, okay, what can you volunteer? Apparently you can volunteer to be a caddy at this event. And I was like, man,
no way.
Yeah. I was like, dude, sign me up. I don't know what kind of experience you need there, but also I don't want that pressure. Like, if they're asking me, like, what do you think here? Like, well, seeing that I have never played Columbia Edgewater before, and I have no idea how much better you are than me and what you can hit your irons and your driver and everything, just do what you feel is best. Just go for it. That's what that'll be my go-to line. Just go for it.
Just go for it.
Just go for it.
Just go for it.
You got this. You got this. Just show support, basically. There was another golf note I wanted to get to, but I'm losing it at this moment in time. But let's get to Hard Knocks. We have a team, and it is, believe it or not, the Chicago Bears are going to be on Hard Knocks this year on HBO. Number 1 overall pick, Justin Fields. I wish, right?
Ha Freudian slip there.
Nope, not Justin Fields. He's over in Pittsburgh now. Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick, is going to be featured on Hard Knocks. And this is the first time that Hard Knocks has had the number 1 overall pick on the show since, I believe, it was Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
As a rookie, that is.
Yeah, because they had Jared Goff in the Rams, but they didn't really feature him much. So.
Yeah, and
that
I
was
don't
after he was drafted.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I don't think that was his rookie season.
No, it was. Yeah. It was like a year or two after he was.
So
drafted.
this is that also was the same Hard Knocks that we got the Cleveland Browns like offensive lineman or D lineman, that huge the guy that
the coach. Said hot.
Yeah, exactly.
And
with
his
the gut
stomach is littered.
that moved every time, and then he went on the rant of. Why do we need to do all this stretching? We didn't do any stretching before we stormed the beaches of Normandy.
Ah, yes. He's like, those guys did push-ups, sit-ups, and jumping jacks.
Why do we have to do all this stretching?
Like
We won a world war without having to do stretch.
2 world wars.
There's probably
2 world wars, Joe.
There's probably some calisthenics, I'm sure, that were involved in preparing for, I don't know, the world war.
Let's hope. I mean, good God, like that. It's like the Bill Belichick, like Tom Brady and his effing bands. Like, guess what? Stretching works, guys.
I will say that the Bears being on here did shock me. Like, this is the first year that they're going to be on there. They kind of have this air about them. I feel like in that front office, like, well, we don't need to do that. Like, we're the Bears. Like, we're one of the marquee franchises. I wouldn't say, as far as performance goes, but they've been around for forever. And I could have sworn that I saw that the Giants were going to be on this, but maybe they were one of the finalists as far as teams that were going to be on it. But the Bears end up being the team selected for Hard Knocks. And this is going to show us a lot more about Caleb Williams behind the scenes. This is huge for Matt Eberflus and whether or not people are going to be sold on him going forward. Obviously, team performance is going to dictate a lot of that in the season, obviously. But I don't know if a lot of people know of what Matt Eberflus is even like as a person, as a head coach, his personality. So I feel like this is going to definitely give people, obviously, the inside look to him and how he goes about operating the Chicago Bears. And he's in a make it or break it season for himself. So it'll be very interesting in that sense as well. As far as like other players or coaches or things, I'd have to go and look at the roster and the coaching staff because I'm not sure who else would really intrigue me. But you're getting the number 1 overall pick and Caleb Williams on the show, and you're getting Matt Eberflus, who is in a very important season for his career going forward on Hard Knocks this year. Interesting choice.
Yeah, I didn't. When I saw the initial headline on ESPN, I didn't think anything like of the decision because it was like, okay, that makes total sense. Like, it wasn't something that made me mad. I'm not sure that I'm gonna be like tuning in every single week like I was to watch the drama that was the New York Jets last year implementing Aaron Rodgers. That's a little bit different than what. This is basically a tale as old as time. What every team that's trying to be successful basically in a little bit of a revamp is trying to insert a rookie quarterback, learn an entire new offense, and save their head coach's job at the same time. They brought Keenan Allen in. They've brought a couple of other guys in to help supplement that offense with Caleb Williams. The argument was, could we draft this hopefully game-changer quarterback, or could we trade that top pick and draft like 7 other guys that could help Justin Fields have a better offense overall? They decided to go with Caleb Williams. And now Matt Eberflus's job, who we all thought basically was done at the end of last year, is really on the line. If he's not successful past like game 10 this year, and I guess success doesn't necessarily have to be record-wise, but if we're hearing, tumultuous reports from the locker room or anything happening, like disagreements amongst players, the coaching staff losing the players, like, yeah, Eberflus is gone. And that'll happen mid-season, if not right after. But this is an opportunity on Hard Knocks for him to, as you said, show us his personality. I like that aspect of Hard Knocks. When you show me, like, I just watched, it was like a 10-minute video of the Los Angeles Chargers, just full rookie class, signing their contracts, kind of just experiencing day one as an LA Charger and a player at the facility, right? That kind of behind-the-scenes preview, we all absolutely we salivate over. My sports pants get so tight over that. So to see his personality interacting with Caleb Williams, I think that's going to be the must-watch for fans, and I guess it will kind of tell the tale for Matt Eberflus's future. If they get along, you could probably see it trying to work and the GM kind of putting up with a little bit more from Eberflus. But if Caleb Williams and Matt don't get on the same page quickly, bye-bye Eberflus, because we all know who's going to be there longer at this point.
Right, and from videos, reports of, not playing games, just practicing, apparently Caleb Williams has looked pretty good to start things. Text line brought this up, and thank you for clarifying. They will have an off-season Hard Knocks, and it will be off-season with the New York Giants. So they're doing a
So now this is the third version.
So the off-season, I guess this is going to just more focus on, I don't know, the front office and mini camps and OTAs.
Okay.
But the first episode of that, it's a 5-parter, that will air on Tuesday, July 2nd. Hard Knocks off-season with the New York Giants. Bring viewers inside the Giants organization as the team prepares for their highly anticipated 100th season. Didn't know that was the case. So yeah, I guess it's going to be a little bit more look into the off season of the front office and coaching and how they're preparing for training camp. I guess I don't know.
And a good lead in for the start of training camp Hard Knocks in late August, right?
Now I'm curious if they have selected a in-season.
Oh yeah, because that was the
team.
Arizona Cardinals last year. They were the
Right.
in-season Hard
I don't
Knocks,
know if
which I
they-
watched one episode of and then just forgot about. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
I'm not gonna lie. Hard Knocks. There hasn't been a whole lot of seasons lately that have gotten my attention or kept it. Like I remember the last one I watched was the Dallas Cowboys one, but I think I tuned out after episode 3 or something like that.
I mean-
I didn't even finish watching it.
I'm not gonna lie. It is like let's use the most recent example. As a case here with the New York Giants, like I didn't really care about the signing of Dalvin Cook, right? He was on Hard Knocks portrayed as like this huge player that was coming in, going to make a massive effect on the offense, and he literally did nothing. And that there is nothing more frustrating to me as a fan than when this massive production chooses like out of 70 guys on the roster. Well, this is the obvious choice. We're going to go with Aaron Rodgers, Dalvin Cook, and Braylon Edwards, and one other guy to feature. And then 2 out of those 3 guys, Aaron Rodgers, obviously unlucky, but choosing a guy on his downswing and Dalvin Cook to feature on a show like Hard Knocks, just like, what are we doing? You wasted a whole episode on that dude, and I'm like, well, you got to make it more entertaining this year. Let's pick some better people, please. Nothing against Dalvin Cook, but like, what did he do for the Jets? Who cares, right?
Yeah, good point. Yeah, he really did nothing for that team, and actually did nothing for the Ravens also after when he got traded over there or signed.
Exactly.
I think when they cut him, I don't remember.
I think he had one. He had like a decent game, either at the end of the season or one of the playoffs. That was it.
Also, before we go to break, the texter bringing up about the fan that was chose as the caddy for CT Pan. Desperate to believe that he's giving advice like he and his buddies are 6 deep and just tearing up a municipal course. We're recommending absolutely impossible shots full of bravado. Yes, I hope that is the case. Like, while the players like trying to think of something like practical to try and, I don't know, like win the tournament or climb up the leaderboard so that way they can win a bit more money. The guy's like, dude, fly your 5-iron over this pond and put it within 5 feet. I know you can do it. Go for it. But it's like, I've laid up all weekend. No, not the shot here. Go for it. You know what? Drive her off deck. Drive her off the deck. Go for it, please. I would love to think that's
Add a little
happening.
backspin and you got it.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, do you want me to show you how to do it? Because I can do it. I mean... All right, let's take a break here. I actually want to take a look at the College World Series because it is a big day today. Lots of games. Some teams will be playing 2 games because they're trying to keep their postseason alive. But want to see what the case is for Oregon and Oregon State because they are in the position of sitting and waiting as far as who they will play in the final round of their regional to see if they move on to the super regional. We'll do that next. But first, Jordan Schultz, SportsCenter Update.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a SportsCenter update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, the Seattle Mariners getting it done, beating the Los Angeles Angels 9-0 thanks to a grand salami from J.P. Crawford last night. They're going for the series sweep today. Griffin Canning and Luis Castillo on the bump. First pitch at 1:10 p.m. on Root Sports. Locally, Oregon outlasting number 14 UC Santa Barbara 2-1, heading back to the regional final after beating them last night. And they're looking to return to a super regional for the 2nd straight year with that win. On to hockey. The Panthers have punched their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals. Florida in Game 6 over the New York Rangers, beating them 2-1 and advancing past the East Final. On the Western Conference side of things, you got that hopefully being decided tonight in Edmonton. The Oilers hosting the Stars with a 3-2 series lead. That one a 5 p.m. puck drop on TNT. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schultze from the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, or tell your desktop player to play 1080 The Fan.
The afternoon round of the 10th Annual Fan Golf Classic, presented by Autotown GMC, is sold out. And the morning round is filling up fast. Sign up now to play with 1080 The Fan.
From the RBC Canadian of that the caddy showing up, the backup caddy for CT Pan.
That's awesome.
The commentator just throwing shade. He goes, "Yeah, you might have to loosen up that bib a little bit, a little tight on it."
Come on, man. What are you doing to us regular people out here?
It's so
what
cold.
are you doing? Maybe you need to loosen up your bib in the announcer booth, buddy.
Oh, and I remember what my other golf note is that there was a dude, I think on Friday, that had an absolutely wild scorecard from the RBC Canadian Open.
Oh, really?
Through his, I forget the player's name. I tweeted it out the other day when I saw it because I was just like, this is
that makes me feel
wild scorecard.
It makes me feel better you tweeted it out and then forgot his name. I feel stupid for forgetting
I had never heard of the guy before.
Okay.
Kevin Velo is his name, all right? Through the first 9 holes, the dude shoots a 27. Let me repeat that. Through the first 9 holes, he shoots a 27. He got 6 birdies and an eagle.
I was like, how many eagles in this round? Just one?
In the first 9 holes, he's shooting a 27. So he's on pace to shoot a 54. Like, dude is on one. So he steps up to the back 9, and what does he shoot on the back 9?
Like triple bogeys?
A 41.
Of course.
A 14-stroke swing between his front 9 to his back 9. His front 9, again, 6 birdies and 1 eagle. The back 9, 6 bogeys. No birdies, no eagles at all on the back 9. For a solid 68, 2 under par.
Golf is such a frustrating sport.
Dude, I would lose my mind. And also, this is something I've talked about on the golf course with my buddies, is I would much rather have a great back 9 than a great front 9. Like, I would rather S the bed early and then make up for it. That way I'm leaving the round optimistic rather than leaving the round feeling terrible. Like, I would rather start off bad, remember what I was doing, finish the round strong, and be like, okay, I don't suck at golf. All right, but I've had a round this year when I started off well, and then the back 9 was atrocious, and the vibes are the vibes going home. You're like just staring off in the distance in your car on the drive home, like, what do I do this for? This is so stupid. I can't. Are you kidding me? And then you start going through all the shots. Why did I do this? God. Yeah, it's. I would much rather finish strong than to start strong.
I mean, I was lucky enough. I wish I remember the course because I was hammered. You've seen my golf swing; it's absolutely terrible.
I have seen a golf swing, and it was at the Fan Golf Classic last year at hole 6. And you're like, let me take a try at this, and then it did not go well.
No, it went horribly. But I have
horribly right.
Yeah, better days. I've managed to hit a hole in one in my life. It was over. It was a par 3 over.
Bullwinkles?
Huh?
Was it at Bullwinkles, the Finley Fun Center?
Jerk! It was not a mini golf. It was during a bachelor party for one of my departed stepdads.
Edgefield?
No, it was down in Central Oregon. It was actually over like a canyon for the par 3, and it literally. I was so nervous, and they just said, "Hey, step up, take a shot, and do it." I was 4 beers in, and the vibe went, and it rolled right on the top of the hill down to the hole and didn't go in the canyon. And since then...
Do you remember the course?
I'm trying to remember the course because it was around Sun River, but it wasn't like in Sun River. So I gotta... it was middle of the course somewhere. I gotta try and go back, and maybe I just need to text the douche and just ask, hey, where did we go golfing when we took that bachelor party trip? But... I guess since then, I don't care if I have a back 9 that's better than my front 9. I just want a decent round. So
just get through 18.
Yeah, just had too much. It's like, all right, this one awesome little bit of success. It's like I'm never gonna do this again in my life. So,
whoo, had to sneeze there.
Well, bless you, my friend.
Also, why not do a little read here?
Back 9s matter, says Jake the Hater on YouTube.
Oh, they do, for sure.
They do. I
mean, they save your score. And again, I would just rather have good vibes leaving the course than being pissed at myself.
You're not wrong.
Autotown GMC presenting the 10th annual Fan Golf Classic at Langdon Farms Golf Club on July 11th. This is news as of a couple days ago. The afternoon round is sold out.
Yeah, good job, everybody.
The 1 p.m. tee time is gone. The 7 a.m. is available. Keep in mind, it is a Thursday in July. So a 7 a.m. tee time, you're maybe looking at, low 60s to start. And by the time you finish up, you're maybe in the 80s or something like that.
You've had daylight for 2.5 hours. Like, it's good to go. Yeah.
Yes. Matt's Barbecue. Fantastic. Glad to see that they're back. They'll be there for lunch and /dinner. Victor Rico's Mexican food will be there as well for breakfast burritos for the morning round. You can just show up also if you want to come hang out. If you want to hit some balls at the driving range, you want to say hi to the guys, you're more than welcome to do so. People have done that before. There were talks about maybe buying some gallery passes so that way you could experience the whole sponsorships. That will not be happening. I think we realized that the chances of someone just getting absolutely hammered on the course and not playing golf could open itself to some definitely bad possibilities there. So
raising my hand here, yeah.
We will be broadcasting from the course once again, and hole number 6, the infamous Volcano Par 3, that will be brought to you by Doers. We will also have 1080 The Fan personalities cycling in throughout the day, maybe just hitting some shots, taking some shots, and hanging out there all day from 7 in the morning until the final round finishes up. So
missing horribly to the right like me. You can watch me suck.
We'll see. And if you need a fourth, I'm there for you. I'm there for you, baby. I'm not going to pay for it, but if you need a fourth, let me know. College World Series happening right now. Let's take a look at the matchups, and we will finish the show up doing that next just because we're already up against it, as is tradition on 1080 The Fan. Take a look at what Oregon and Oregon State are facing as we approach this final day of the regionals of the NCAA baseball playoff tournament. Do that next year. Sports Sunday, 1080 The Fan.
If you've been arrested for a DUI, call the Reynolds Defense Firm.
Not caddy for any of the professional women's golfers at the LPGA Portland Classic in August.
Oh.
You can caddy for amateurs during the Pro-Am.
I was like,
one of
wait.
the volunteer positions available.
You teasing me, bro.
I know.
That would have been so much fun. But the advice that you're offering is so bad.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
bad.
It's like, don't let this guy Hey, if they're letting dudes caddy because of injury on the PGA Tour, I think I can give a few good suggestions out there. I would have to play the course, obviously, so give me a free round. But
you'd have the right motivations behind it, Joe. There's just the world that we live in of creepy men just trying to get on the course with those women. Yeah, I see all sorts of bad
I
things.
think you're
happen.
really cool.
Yeah.
All right.
We wouldn't be focusing on golf at that point, that's for sure.
Winner of the Sports Sunday poll question is Harrison Butker.
Are we surprised?
Travis Kelce, he gave it a valiant effort in second, and Patrick Mahomes in third as far as which Kansas City Chiefs player would you want to see get tased by Secret Service. Moving on to college baseball playoffs today. Playoffs. We have 2 Oregon teams that are in their championship round of the regional. The Oregon State Beavers. They are waiting to find out the winner between Tulane and UC Irvine. The winner of that game will go on to play the Oregon State Beavers later tonight at 6 p.m. UC Irvine and Tulane, first pitch at noon on ESPN+. Right now, UC Irvine, the heavy favorite in that one. Oregon, they escaped from their game the other night against that team, San Diego. They were up 4-1, gave up a 3-run dong in the 8th inning to go 4-4, and then they ended up winning it, I believe, in like the 11th inning.
Nice.
They beat UC Santa Barbara yesterday 2-0, so they are waiting the winner between San Diego or UC Santa Barbara, the 2 teams that they beat. So they will have their first pitch, San Diego, UC Santa Barbara, at noon as well. That one says it will be on ESPNU, so you'll be able to watch that on cable TV, and I'm sure, obviously, that will be streamed as well on ESPN+. So Oregon, again, they will play at 6 o'clock. Oregon and Oregon State both will play at 6 o'clock tonight. Oregon either against San Diego or UC Santa Barbara. This is the UC Santa Barbara regional, so I would assume that Santa Barbara is the favorite in that matchup. Yes, they are. So we will see who Oregon will face yet again, since they played both of those teams. And then Oregon State, they will face either Tulane or UC Irvine. They crushed Tulane on Friday 10-4. And then they got by UC Irvine yesterday 5-3. So we will see who they face in their regional.
It's just crazy that they're basically going doubleheader style in college baseball.
On this last day of the tournament. Yeah, I love that, honestly, because it just gives me nostalgic youth, Little League baseball tournament vibes, like Babe Ruth League, where it's you're playing multiple games in a day.
Absolutely.
And this kind of gives the advantage to the team who has won their 2 games in the regional, because they play 1 game a day, whereas if you are in this first matchup of the day, it's all right, you have to go and win 2 games in 1 day in order to win the regional.
Yeah, Ducks and Beavs literally sitting around having a nice brunch right now. Maybe going to go out and take some BP later, but they're sailing. They should have the wins all wrapped up, because, gosh, it's a lot harder to turn around and win right after you just won.
Also, I got my first taste of Travis Bazzana for the Oregon State Beavers the other day when I was watching that game against Tulane. He good. He real good. I've been hearing his name floating around from the morning show guys and just, from other media outlets. He is very good at baseball. He is he had a play where he scored the other day from coming from second. It was a, infield or outfield single that just got put out into the left field or left center. That dude was flying around third base to score at home. I was shocked. I was like, damn, I didn't know. He seems like he can do everything out there. And then sure enough, later in the game, what did he do? He hit a home run as well. So,
Beavers have been producing stars for a long time. That program, they know how to develop talent and they know where to find it. It's impressive. Every time around this year, you're every year around this time, you're just like, damn, the Beavers got like at least 2 guys that are like close to being or at major league ready talent.
Yeah, he is projected to go either 1 or 2 in this year's upcoming draft. The other player, Charlie Condon out of Georgia, is also the number 1 projected draftee, but Travis Bazzana, he good at baseball. Thank you all for texting in, hanging out on the text line. Jordan, appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate that Rashad was able to take our advice and not show up the day after his wedding.
So did his wife. I think his wife appreciated that as well.
Well, I'm sure he turned up last night and same thing. Oh no, I'll be in. I'll show up. And then no. No, you won't.
You wake up, it's like, all right, wifey, I'm just gonna look at your beautiful face for the next 2 hours because I'm hurting.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good here. Again, thank you to everybody out there. Jordan, thank you. We appreciate everyone. We will catch you next Sunday right here on 1080 The Fan. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Peace.